Hey, it's Jack from Alphacharts with a state of the market video. Today is August 3rd, 2024. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. Now, I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also find me on X at Alphacharts365. I'm posting things there all the time, market related mostly. If you really like my stuff, you can join my subscriber group. It's 10 bucks a month, super cheap, affordable for everybody. And the amount of education and just market content you get is pretty impressive, I think. It's got in-depth market reports, videos on the weekends. I do a special weekend video just for subscribers, a focus list video, annotated charts. I do a midweek video. I do 2 market notes every single week. Keep everybody just engaged. Daily market scans with my best scanner. It's been really fantastic. Daily posts for subscribers, my thoughts on the markets. Sometimes people ask me for chart requests. They'll ask me specifically, hey, here's what's going on. I can't tell anybody what to do as far as buying or selling. I can just say what I would do in that situation. It's up to you to make all the decisions yourself. A lot of people that work full time need something like this just to help them, just stay in tune with the market. Also, I have a lot of people that are good traders and they just use this service just to get a second opinion on what they're seeing in the market. For $10 a month, it's really for them it's a really inexpensive way to get that other opinion. So go to Alpha Charts 365 and go ahead and click subscribe. And like I said, it's 10 bucks a month. It is month to month, which means there's no contracts or anything like that. You like it, great, you stay. You don't like it, you leave. That's just the way it is. Almost zero risk for you to give it a try. So check it out. I can say we've been cautious in for my subscriber group in a cautious stance since July 17th. I'll just flip over here. I use a spy chart to annotate when push on the gas and when to be cautious. You can see this is historically what we've done. I do this in real time for subscribers. Again, it doesn't change that often, but when trends change, again, this is where we get cautious right there on July 17th. Trends change, we get at the very least higher cash and lower exposure to the markets. You see we're now in a red area now, which means get very defensive and cash and trading goes down to very little. And sometimes it's patience is what's needed. So this is where I'm at for me and subscribers. And you can see it doesn't happen that often that we go to red. But I think we're in that potential area right now where you could get some sort of waterfall type decline. Let's get into the markets and see if the charts agree with this. We'll start here with the SPY. And, this week was really interesting because Wednesday was one of those days where it's like, okay, up on higher volume. I mean, it kind of, it didn't close great, but it was FOMC and we had a lot of stuff out of the way. And it was really good. But one of the things I talked about in my market notes subscribers was it takes sometimes a day for the market to fully digest the FOMC information. And that's exactly what happened. So we went bearish outside the next day, and then what looks like potentially a waterfall type event happening. We'll see if it can dig in here or not. But either way, it's just not a really good look for this. Again, maybe we get some sort of support. And again, I could see this. It's possible. Maybe some sort of support here where we, come on. So something like that, right? And we may be, maybe that was enough. Maybe we come down a little bit more, undercut this, show some support around 524-ish, and maybe it bounces there. I don't know, but this for me is an avoid, and maybe we start to dig in here, but we'll see. On the week, it was down 2% on the week. And remember, that follows 0.83 and then another 2% this week. So now there's your 5% so far down top to bottom. And top to bottom, I think it's closer to 6. Find my keyboard in here. There's my keyboard. Roughly, 6.5%. So far this pullback. So it's not like, listen, this is not end of the world pullback yet, right? It's only 6.5%, but it feels like it sometimes. And we'll see if it gets down to, maybe a little bit lower, and maybe it gets down to, 8, 9, 10%, and then maybe it digs in. We'll see. And that would be totally normal within the context of a larger bull market, right? Because this 200-day is still rising. Again, we'll see what happens there. Here's your RSP. Again, tried to break out, couldn't on Wednesday, and then came back again. The higher volume, FOMC. So there's a lot of stuff going on, earnings, yada, yada, yada. Um, but came right back in. Came right back in, and that's obviously not a good sign. It was down on 1.76, so almost the same as SPY, which just tells you that they're selling everything, right? Everything is getting sold. Do have a nice little wick on the bottom here, so maybe it's digging in. We'll see. I'm not willing to I'm not willing to say that quite yet, but this would be an area where you may see some support. Here's the cues. Um, Again, really, really ugly. On the week, it was down 3%, and that's going to follow 2.5 and 4%, right? So 7, 8, 9, almost 10%, top to bottom. Let's see, that's just for funsies. Top to bottom is, yeah, even a little bit more, right? 11.5%. So that, and again, look at this distribution right here. I mean, it just looks like distribution, right? You see it right there, right, really well. Coming down, maybe it tags to 200, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it gets to this area, 435, and the 200 is kind of meets it there. We don't know, but you don't want to be a hero in this downtrend, right? This is a patience. Here are the equal weights, right? We were loving this on the breakout up here, back in early July, and then it started to turn, and we got cautious in here. This is exactly where we got cautious because we wanted to avoid this potential, and top to bottom, look at the equal weights. I mean, 9%, right? That's 9% after a beautiful base. There's your false breakout. And, it was down, what, 3.5, almost 2, and just over 2 right there. So, again, quite a bit of downside here. And there's times to be aggressive in the market, and there's times to be cautious in the market. And we've been in that time. If you watch this video, I've talked about that. Yeah, it's time to be that is a cautious time in the market. And it's been holding true so far. We'll see if next week will change anything. Midcaps, man, that was a little disappointing right there. Looks a lot like was RSP, right? It looks just like RSP. Came back. Now we'll see if this area right here will show support. It's kind of in that supportish area on the weekly, down 4.18. But you see, not quite as multi-week negatives, even though it is bearish outside. Um, you know, it's been we'll see if this holds in, right? It's 530-ish area. But don't be a hero. No reason to be a hero yet, in my opinion. Here's IWM. Looks a little bit better, this candle, because it's above the 50-day. Still down 3.5 on the day. Holy cow. 6.8 on the week. That's a heck of a week, man. Just pretty rough week, and really all in 2 days, right? Thursday and Friday. IWM's hard. Is it the uptrend still intact? Yeah, technically we have an uptrend still intact because look at this 200-day starting to rise now. So longer term, maybe we could dig in right here and you get the bounce and you make a higher low. That's a possibility. But again, I can't hang my hat on that yet. Look at XLF. XLF is again, it was breaking out and then came back. Still above this general area and above the 50-day. So that's a positive. The whole market, when it goes negative and sour, it brings everything down. So I think financials got tagged with it. Big rate cut supposedly coming in September, and now people are talking about 0.5% instead of just 0.25%. We'll see. I don't know, but you don't want to see desperation or any kind of emergency rate cut. That'd be a problem. Semiconductors, man, how brutal is this? Down 5% in a day and 6%. Oh my God. What were they for the week? 9% for the week. Prior week was 3, and before that, another 9%. Oh my God. Look at semiconductors. I should have kept my short. Oh my God, 25% in literally just a couple weeks. And they were the darlings for such a long time, Nvidia and everything else, going from 137 to 283. But that's why we date our trades. We don't marry them. And this is the reason why. We don't want to give all this back. I was short actually semiconductors in here, and I right in here. This day right here is when I sold my short. Obviously, I should have kept it a little bit longer. I was happy when this gapped up and I wasn't short because that was brutal, right? If you were short, because I was triple leverage short. But man, this looks really bad. Technology in general is I think out of favor. So that's an avoid. Look at equal weights down 6%. And on the week it was down 12. Holy cow, 2 and 6. And really top to bottom, what was this down? 22%. So yeah, all semiconductors are getting sold into. Um, for me, that means a slowing of the future need for semiconductors way beyond AI. Like AI is important, I get that, but semiconductors are in everything that we use in our lives, from thermostats and air conditioners to our cars to microwaves, everything uses semiconductors. So if there's gonna be a slowing demand in semiconductors 6 to 9 months later. We may be seeing that now. And if that there is a slowing demand 6 to 9 months from now, what is that telling us? I think we should be paying attention to that. Here is transports just getting totally demolished back to this area. Again, it held again on a closing basis, but if we start to break this area, that's pretty nasty and back under the 200-day. And I think that we're, again, what's transport's telling us. Here's the other transport, equal weights, back again, back into this area, held up, but below the 200-day. If this starts to turn down, which let's take a look here. 200 days is right here. So another couple of weeks, and you're going to start to really get some issues with this 200-day turning down. Housing was breaking out, looking great, kind of came back. It's not terrible looking. It's better than some charts by far, but it's still potentially a false breakout, and we'll see how the future numbers look. I'm not too worried about that. And here's the other housing. Again, looks about the same. So in the end, we have some really, really rough looking charts. We have, again, we don't know where the bottom is going to be, but I don't think this is the time to be a hero. I think this is the time to be high levels of cash and to be, and just again, and I think this is foretelling some maybe future problems. If you're a rate curve type of person, have almost normalized the rate uh the yield curve, right? So it's been negative for years now, right? Almost 2 years or something, and it's almost normalized again. That has been a potential indicator of recession, not a guarantee. Nothing is, but semiconductors are getting demolished, transports are getting demolished. We're starting to see a lot of cracks out here. Again, and again, we could get rallies between now and then, and so on and so forth. But it's something to keep in mind. I think we're at the inflection point, and 2025 could be a really, really maybe a rough year. We'll find out. Anyway, hope you all are doing good. We don't really look that far ahead. I'm looking really this next week, and I'm cautious. I have a couple of longs on, not much, half positions, quarter positions with whatever I'm trying. And I want to stay in a lot of cash. I think for me, it's probably too late to reshort again. So now I have to kind of just chill out, wait for a potential area, and then consider that if I want to look to short. Anyway, hope you are doing well. If you haven't done, check me out at Alphacharts 365. Join my subscriber group. I think you're gonna like it. I think it's gonna help you quite a bit. It helps me quite a bit. It's not even I'm not even talking about the financial piece of that. I'm talking about like writing things and sharing everything. So it's been awesome. So check me out, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.